All right, everybody, welcome back to another deep dive. Today we're going to tackle something I think we can all relate to, and that is sandwiches. But we're asking a very simple question that has a very complicated answer.
Okay.
And that is, what is a sandwich?
Yeah.
So we have some material that we're going to dive into today that kind of brings up some interesting points, like our hot dog sandwiches, our taco sandwiches.
Ooh, interesting.
Our wraps sandwiches. I mean, so many different things.
Okay.
It's making me question everything I thought I knew about sandwiches. What about you?
Well, I think we all have like a general idea in our head of what we think a sandwich is.
Right.
But it's interesting when you actually start trying to like define it.
Pin it down. It's harder than you think.
It's really tricky.
It really does.
Yeah.
So one of the things that this material brings up is a hot dog a sandwich? And at first you're like, well, yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bread.
Oh, it's got a filling.
You got your toppings?
You got your toppings. You can put whatever you want on it.
Right.
But then you start to think about it like, but is it really a sandwich?
Well, and the funny thing is, there's no official
governing body.
Yeah, like Webster's dictionary definition of a sandwich that everyone agrees on.
Right.
So it really is kind of up for interpretation.
So how are we supposed to figure this out?
Well, I think we have to kind of like break it down and think about what are the essential components.
Okay, the criteria.
Yeah, the criteria of a sandwich.
Okay, I'm with you.
So like, first, is it bread? Does it have to be bread?
Well, yeah. I mean, at least in my mind, yeah.
Okay, so does it have to be like sliced bread?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like, or could it be like a roll?
Right.
Or a bun?
Right, or like a pita bread.
Ooh, a pita.
Which is kind of like a pocket.
Yeah.
So that brings in like the taco and wrap thing.
Right. Yeah. Because like a taco is kind of like bread.
Yeah, it's a tortilla.
But it's just one piece of bread.
Yeah.
Folded in half.
Yeah, and is that enough?
Yeah. This is really hard. This is making me think about, like, I was once at a restaurant.
Okay.
And they had on the menu a sandwich. And I was so excited. I was like, ooh, I'm going to get a sandwich.
Yeah.
And it came out and it was just like
what?
A pile of meat.
Oh, no.
On a plate.
No bread.
No bread, no nothing.
Oh.
And I was like, what is this?
This is not a sandwich.
This is not a sandwich. This is just meat.
Yeah.
So I feel like bread is pretty essential.
I think it's pretty key, yeah. It's in the name.
What do you think, listeners, is bread essential?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the bread part.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the hot dog.
Yeah.
Because the bread isn't sliced.
Right.
It's one connected piece.
It's all one.
Does that disqualify it?
Well, I was thinking about this and I was doing a little research, and apparently the word sandwich comes from the Earl of Sandwich.
Really?
Who was this British guy back in the 1700s, and he was like a big gambler, and he didn't want to have to stop his card games to eat.
Makes sense.
So he would have his servants bring him like meat between two slices of bread so you could eat it with one hand.
Wow, look at that.
And keep playing cards.
So convenience was kind of like a key part of the original sandwich. So does that mean a sandwich has to be handheld?
Well, that's a good question, because what about like
a Monte Cristo?
Yeah, Monte Cristo, or like a French dip.
Right.
Or like, some of those big like deli sandwiches that you need a fork and knife for.
Right. Those are massive.
Yeah. Are those still sandwiches?
I don't know. Listener, what do you think is the history of the Earl of Sandwich? Change your opinion on this whole hot dog debate.
And what about open-faced sandwiches?
Oh, yeah.
Like just a single slice of bread.
Yeah.
Does that count?
It's a slippery slope.
The slippery slope.
Oh, man. So I thought we were going to come here today and like solve this question.
I know.
Of, is a hot dog a sandwich? But I have more questions now than I did when we started.
Me too.
But I think it's really interesting to think about how food is so tied to our culture and our personal experiences. And, one person's sandwich is another person's just pile of meat on a plate.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe that's okay.
I think so.
Maybe there's not one right answer.
Right. Maybe it's more about like how we each individually interpret it.
So listener, next time you're eating a sandwich or a hot dog or a taco or a wrap, just think about it for a second and be like, what makes this a sandwich to me?
Yeah.
What are my criteria? Anyway, this has been a really fun deep dive.
Yes, it has.
Until next time, happy sandwiching, everybody.